Hello. We're getting crazy today. I got some kombucha. Sometimes I kind of fixate on something and get a little bit obsessed with it. Recently, dinosaurs have been one of those things that I've been really enjoying making. And apparently you guys have also been appreciating that I'm enjoying making them. We've got something in common. Also, y'all seem to really enjoy telling me what to make. So I went over on Instagram and I asked you which styles or themes of dinos would you like to see me make? And I also told you to be as creative as possible. So I'm really excited to see because you guys are very creative. You come up with some of the weirdest stuff and I just love that about you. Let's go see what you had to say. Extension death by meteor. I believe that this person may have meant extinction. So I'm not gonna blame them. No fault for the typos. Extinction death by meteor, which I think would be a pretty excellent theme. Someone just said volcano. Also, more than one person is saying that I should make Barney. I don't know that I want to because Barney kind of scares me. I can't explain why. Oh my God, get down. Chaos is real today. Someone just said dino nugget, and I cannot believe that we did not think of something so perfect and so simple. Thank you, Tish. You are a genius. Ooh, I like this one. Patchwork. That would be so cute. A lot of you are quite dark. I really appreciate it. Emmer said planets get it because they were hit by an asteroid. Like all of you are just like, lol. Dinosaurs are dead. A mushroom dino. And as y'all know, mushrooms are one of my favorites. A cheese dino? More than one of you has said cheese. That extinction event and cheese are two of the top choices. I never thought I'd see the day that my demographic was cheese lovers who laugh in the face of death. YouTube is really helping me reach the right people. That's what I've learned today. These colors are instantly reminding me of the Kraft macaroni and cheese dinosaur from the 90s, especially because the gloves are also involved in the color palette. Every dino starts from an egg. The irony is not lost on me. Could you imagine how delicious a cheese-flavored egg would be? Just like an egg, but you crack it open and it's actually cheese? Or would that be disgusting? Let me know. They all kind of start out looking like marshmallow peeps. I do think that internally I had already made the decision that this was actually going to be a macaroni and cheese dino, not just your average run-of-the-mill cheese dinosaur. The nostalgia was hitting pretty hard after I thought of that 90s dino on the old Kraft boxes. Look at those little cheesy lumps. Looks like he's ready to have a little fight. Put him up, put him up. I wasn't entirely sure that my plan would work, so I did make up some backup yellow pieces. But the plan was basically that the spines of this dinosaur were going to be little tiny pieces of macaroni. Oh my God, this is so stupid. Oh, I love it. This is the goofiest. Let's do this. I was gonna do little balls, yellow, but we gotta make the little spike pieces of macaroni balancing down his back. Yes. So that I don't smush them, I do have to make all of the little pieces of macaroni first, and then I'm gonna glue them to the back of these with some cheese sauce. This macaroni, so baby, so small, nothing, only tiny, only pasta. It was a pretty solid plan, but our first attempt with the cheese sauce made quite a mess. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. Some people may say there's no such thing as too much cheese. I would say in this instance, yes, there was. Although that effect is kind of cool with the cheesy holes. Normally, cheesy holes would not be a good thing. But in this instance, cheesy hole looks pretty good. That's a little bit more reasonable. Once we had gotten more reasonably cheesable, the macaroni stuck like a dream. Ah, that's very cute and funny. Now that we had one in the bag, it was time for our mushroom dino. Every single one of the dinos today does start out the same way with a little egg. But for this dino, it was going to have two parts. I wanted it to have a big chunky cap. This is the start of something beautiful. I'm just trying to decide whether or not this part is too big, but I think I kind of like the idea of a big old chunk. You substantial baby. Once we decided that our new friend was going to be a man of substance, I flattened out all the caps and made divots inside to hold the head. One of the problems when I do this is that sometimes we get a little bit of a split. Someone in the comment section actually pointed out that mushroom caps will split because of these little perforations that they have on the bottom. Anyways. Thank you to whoever said that and helped me with my realism development. I like using these eyeshadow palettes to cover my mushroom tops because it's kind of giving an airbrush effect without the tedious task of having to wash out the airbrush. I wash them off with soap and water after they are done baking, and then I dry them off and give them a good rub to get off any excess pigment. Some of you may be familiar with this technique because it's the same one that I used in my zombie mushrooms video a little while ago. That is providing the serotonin that I need to get through the day. Is this giving anyone else kind of like a snail vibe? That's not a bad thing. I like it. Oh, I threw it. I'm being violent. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being violent to you. Let us continue. I'm kind of taking a little bit of a gamble with their tummies because normally I put that little stripey piece on here, but I thought it would be cute if they had sort of the same tummy as the top. We'll see how that turns out in a little bit.
I gave everything a really good clean before I went on to the painting phase because after that things were going to be sealed together permanently.
You look like you've been massacred.
Once our little champion was all cleaned up, it was time for me to put all the finishing details on, aka some white paint for the dots on the mushrooms. Also, because there are some nerds out there that are like me, for these dots I am actually using Folk Art's Dots series. I think they developed it for painting on rocks, but it works great for this sort of thing.
So cute! I love your dummy.
Now that we've created something natural, let's create something super unnatural. Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets have sort of an otherworldly color to them. I'm trying to color match it with things that I have, and it's like this weird orangey brown that like doesn't exist anywhere else in nature. And in our search, we find the subject in the wild, waiting to be replicated. I think these are the colors that we're gonna have to combine to get this.
Now I'm about to make a pretty big mistake. The orange that I'm using is incredibly difficult to work with because it's something called Primo clay.
Oh my gosh. Ow. Ow, ow.
Other clay artists swear by this stuff because it's super durable and also after it's baked it will bounce back. I didn't realize that I'd used it and I hate it. Now if you love it, don't feel discouraged because I don't like it. It's just really hard to work with because I don't have the best wrists.
I think this is as close as we are gonna get. Let's see if this matches the noogs. That's the same color. It took me 45 minutes to blend the nugget color, but we got it.
Once I had the color right, I got to work making the appropriate shapes, but these dinos are a little bit different than the other ones that I've created. Normally when I give my dinos their little spikes, they are their own independent balls, but dino nuggets seem to be a mass that is just sort of fused together. A delicious blob, if you will. So I had to make sure that every single one of the seams for the spikes as well as for the arms was kind of crunchified into the body. Something felt a little bit off about the dino nuggets, and I know that I can ask my husband what something is, and if he gets it wrong, I know I need to revise it. My husband is about to guess what these are.
It's gonna be a ramen noodle dino.
You can have a second guess.
Cheese rock.
That's a cheese one! That's cheese!
Clearly I need to workshop these nuggets. Yeah, they don't look like it.
I realized that what the nuggets were missing were breadcrumbs, something that I have not ever tried to replicate before with clay. My game plan was to make a bunch of tiny pieces, bake it so that it was nice and hard, and then smash it so that we could coat our nuggets with it. I just want to remind you all of what I'd said about the Primo clay that is in this colors mix.
It literally reminds me of uncooked ramen noodles. Wow, she's double jointed. Oh, I just broke her joints. Damn it, the one time that I want something to be crumbly, it's definitely not. This is like springy and excellent. Fall apart, damn you, fall apart! It did nothing. That is also not working. I'm gonna go buy something. I just thought of a good idea. I have this little ducky chopper, but I use it for food, and you should never mix what you're using for crafting with what you're using for eating. So hopefully if this grocery store has another one, I can use that and pulverize these into a crumb consistency. This is very cute. How do I open it? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh! Ah, blades! That's what I scream in a moment of danger. Ah, blades!
Makes sense. Flying at your chair.
Yeah, that's true. They were flying at my chair. Thank you. Oh no. That doesn't really seem to have done much of anything. I just had an idea. Nothing is working. This clay is too flexible. So great job in the durability department. Not such a great job when it comes to trying to make crumbs. Now what I'm gonna do is order a cheap coffee grinder off of Amazon and hope that it will get here tomorrow so that I can use it to grind this theoretically to a fine pulp. Look what I got! Let's go, girls.
I've plugged it in and oh, it's taped. I was like, how do I open this?
Unwieldy death trap.
See how this goes.
It worked. Oh, baby. I mean, excellent. Good job, coffee grinder. Great work. Godspeed, little nuggy. Okay, that's way more convincing to me. Like, I just started getting a little hungry, and that's a sign that I'm moving in the right direction. Oh no, maybe not on the front. I think it might be better without it on the front. Crunchy, crispy from the side, but you can tell what's going on.
Now that I had gotten the texture just right, I mixed up a custom blend to give it that super unnatural orange. I'm not joking, I color matched fluorescent orange, and when these things are cooked, that's the hue that they give off. That still doesn't deter me from wanting to eat them.
I'm feeling a little bit mischievous, so I think I'm gonna plate these up and play a little joke on my husband because he didn't know what they were. And we will see if he gets it right this time. I've got a little cup here for some nugget sauce. This will kind of be the test to see if I succeeded or failed. If he can't guess what they are, then I don't know if anyone will be able to tell. This is literally way too much fun. You guys, I'm having too much fun. Here we go. I have a snack for you. I have a little snack for you.
Chicken nugget dino. Dino nugget.
Yes, Dino chicken nuggets. You got it.
You did it. Spray.
Oh, thanks, honey.
Don't eat it though. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. No, I said don't eat it. No. I'm worried he's actually gonna eat them.
I promise I'll give you guys a nice good close-up of everything that we've made at the end of the video when we do a couple of glamour shots. Next up on our list is the Quilted Dino, and shout out to anybody else out there who absolutely loves the quilted furniture set from Animal Crossing. If you're wondering what sort of a vibe I am aiming for with these, it's that.
This is currently giving me like either Pinhead vibes or those like weird pictures at the butcher's. It's not currently giving me quilted. Is this gonna help? Okay, maybe this will help.
Trust the process, trust the process, trust the process.
I gotta trust that I know what I'm doing occasionally. Gotta trust myself.
I've often found that the line between something being creepy or cute is pretty thin. In this case, it was a tiny line, or a bunch of tiny lines that looked like stitches. Once I put a bunch of those in place, everything was adorable and no longer nightmare fuel. Also, I just realized that I've been calling this quilted the whole time when it's actually patchwork. To me, they are the same thing. Anyways, to really send home the patched together aesthetic, I made all of its limbs and extra pieces in a bunch of different colors. Nothing really matches in patchwork, but it's all kind of the same color story.
Now that these are baked, they are in fact the cutest thing I've ever seen. I am gonna get a little bit of paint and go in and maybe add some details and a couple of patches of different colors so that it looks sort of quilted and put together. I'm not gonna do every single one because I think that that would take 600 years. Just a couple of fun little extra colorful patches and we should be good to go.
Now that we'd completed what in my opinion was the cutest of all of the dinos, it's time for us to try and tackle the cluster bustard that is the extinction event. So for the extinction event, I had decided that I was going to combine a bunch of the themes that you had all asked for together. It didn't really make sense for me to make them all individually, but it did make sense for me to pile them all together into this doomsday of a dinosaur. For those of you that requested a skeleton or just straight up death, I put a skull as his face. Someone had also requested that we do volcano, so going down the spine of this dinosaur's back, I put 3 miniature volcanoes sitting on their own private islands just waiting to erupt when the meteor hits. For the stomach on this dino, I also made some very tiny bones so that we could have an exposed rib cage. And once our disastrous dino was baked and cured, it was time for me to do some of the finishing details with paint. I incorporated some of the cosmic or galaxy requests by adding a bunch of stars on the side, and then of course the cherry on top. I don't know what extinction event would be complete without a lot of fire and a meteor flying straight towards Earth.
It's supposed to be a meteor. Maybe I'll paint over it later and it'll look a little bit more convincing. Right now it just looks kind of like a space potato. The dinosaurs were killed by a potato in space. You heard it here first. I'm not sure if that helped with its space potatoiness, but it's as good as I can do.
And with our final dino's destiny fulfilled, it's time for the moody glamour shots. Enjoy! Thank you so much for joining me on yet another silly adventure together. I think my personal favorite out of all of these ended up being the quilted or patchwork dinosaurs, but I'd love to know which ones are your favorites in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video and are looking for ways to support the channel, I hope that you will consider subscribing. I've also got an online shop where I sell a bunch of really cool stuff, including stickers, prints, paintings, and if you sign up for my email list, you'll get notified of when we're gonna have more of my handmade sculptures in stock. Have a wonderful day or night, and stay weird, my friends. Okay, I love you. Bye!
I always do this. I always act like a big weirdo. I always act like a big weirdo. You guys are into it and I don't know why.